Another new week means another new set of Gran Turismo 7 daily races has now become available, with 3 new events for players to tackle over the coming 7 days. It's a trio of some of the game's more complex circuits this week, as the races visit the Eifel region and, following its hosting of the Pebble Beach Tour de Elegance over the weekend, California's Big Sur region. That comes in Race A, which uses a car that wouldn't look out of place at the concourse itself, in the shape of the now 30-year-old 1992 Ferrari F40. You'll be racing with up to 11 other F40s in this lash around the fictional Grand Valley Highway 1 circuit for a 5-lap race on sports hard tyres. Although an ordinary sprint race, as much as that applies to a dozen F40s, you will need to bear in mind the fact that it's a grid start with a false start check enabled. You'll need to keep the brakes or handbrake on from the moment the final light comes on and until they all go out to start the race, or you'll be deemed to have jumped the start and your engine power will be cut for several seconds. It remains a no DRSR update event as usual, which means neither your driver rating nor sportsmanship rating will be affected by the race. You'll just have to live with yourself if you smash up an F40, or several. You'll potentially have to borrow the car for the race if you haven't picked one up in its rare appearance in the Legends cars dealers before now. The Group 3 cars are up next in Race B, which is another 5-lap sprint, but this time around it's Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. This should be a relatively simple affair, as you'll only need to select your preferred Group 3 car, the rough equivalent to Real World GT3 category of rear-wheel drive racing machines that share engine layouts with production models, but not much else. And all you have to do is fit racing hard tyres. It's worth noting that the balancer performance settings are on high for this race, but we're not expecting much of a change to the established pecking order. Finally, Race C goes to the Nürburgring, with the Grand Prix circuit hosting a race for the Group 4 cars. These are mostly production road cars, stripped back and fettled for racing in a class similar to the Real World GT4 category. It ought to be a pretty straightforward race this week, although depending on which car you pick, there may be some fuel saving required. That's due to a pretty high fuel consumption multiplier of 7 times, meaning that your tank will drain 7 times quicker than usual. Players who elect for a thirstier car might need a splash and dash to complete all 9 laps, but that would also mean that you can take advantage of racing mediums that are permitted alongside the racing hards. The racing hard tyre is mandatory though, which means you must use it for at least 1 pass of the start-finish line on the track, or you'll receive a 1-minute penalty after the race. In order to access these daily races, you'll need to unlock Sport Mode in Gran Turismo 7 by completing Menu Book 9, the Tokyo Highway Parade, in the GT Cafe single-player hub. With GT7's daily races updating every Monday across the game's life to date, the next new set should arrive on Monday, August 28th, and so will our next video. We'll see you then.